Hey there, Pyromaniacs. You might be wondering why it's been a while since I've made a retrospective video, and the truth is, I've been kidnapped!
And we won't let you go until you review APB.
Over my dead body.
That can't be arranged, you know.
Your threats don't scare me.
Well, maybe you need more of an incentive.
You monster!
You will review APB or your precious Saints Row gets it.
Fine, I'll review the game. APB has an interesting history. The game was the brainchild of one David Jones, the founder of a little company known as DMA Design, also known as Rockstar North, also known as the company behind Grand Theft freaking Auto. Jones ended up leaving DMA after the company was bought out by Take-Two and founded yet another studio, Real-Time Worlds.
What are you doing?
I'm giving exposition.
You're recycling the intro of your Crackdown video.
Dang, I thought I got away with it. I mean, even then, the games are pretty tied at the hip in terms of backstory. APB was conceived by Jones not long at all after leaving DMA, an open-world sandbox game in the style of Grand Theft Auto, but this time as a massively multiplayer RPG. A sort of Grand Theft Auto Online, if you will.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
The game has two factions you can choose from, enforcers and criminals. This idea actually harkens all the way back to the original build for Grand Theft Auto back when it was called Race and Chase, which was originally going to give you the choice to chase down criminals or race against the cops, you know, as the name implies. Race and Chase might have also had a multiplayer function as well, but details are sparse on how far that got before things were scrapped and turned into GTA. It seems as though David Jones never really let go of a lot of his ideas from Grand Theft Auto's initial creation and wanted to utilize his newfound independence to finally achieve his version of GTA, which honestly is kinda cool. The original creator finally getting the opportunity to make the game he's always wanted to, with unlimited control to do whatever he wants with the project. It's almost like looking into an alternate timeline to see what could have been. I don't like this timeline. APB started development all the way back in 2005, but didn't end up releasing until 2010. Now that doesn't sound that bad nowadays. 5-year development cycles are basically the standard today, but back then that was an eternity. Allow me to show you just how much games evolved from 2005 to 2010. This is Gun, a Western sandbox game from 2005. And this is Red Dead Redemption, a sandbox game from 2010. It's like comparing the Stone Age to the Industrial Revolution. Now, the main reason APB took so long in the oven was because it was sort of put on the back burner until they could acquire funding needed to bring the game to life. So in the meantime, Real-Time Worlds worked out a deal with Microsoft to make Crackdown, which was in itself intended to be sort of a test for certain mechanics that were planned for APB. By the time the game finally released, development costs had racked up to a staggering $100 million, making APB one of the most expensive video games ever made. Considering how much money they blew on this game, you have to wonder how they were planning on making any sort of return on that investment. And, well, they certainly had a plan. APB released at the price point of $50. But that money didn't just buy you the game, it also bought you time. 50 hours of time within the game, to be specific. And once that time was up, then you'll have to pay an extra $7 every 20 hours to extend your playtime even further. By the way, did I forget to mention this game was published by EA? This has to be the scummiest monetization system I have ever heard of. If anything is worth that money, and where I assume all the budget actually went, it's the insane levels of customization found in this game. Most of the marketing of APB focused heavily on how much freedom you're given with personalizing your character, your vehicle, and even the songs on the radio. The level of customization provided to players in the game is still unprecedented compared to similar games to this day. But while the customization is impressive, the rest of the game leaves much to be desired. To be honest, I feel like the 50 hours given to you is almost too generous, since I feel like I experienced everything this game had to offer in only about 4 to 6 hours of playtime. It's actually really hard to properly articulate the real problems with APB's gameplay without talking about the nebulous concept of game feel. Which is exactly how it sounds. It's simply how a game feels. If you want to make your game fun, then it has to feel fun. It's the thing that separates your Halo 3s from your Perfect Dark Zeros. It's also probably the hardest thing to perfect in game development, as it's the one aspect that you usually have no choice but to just play by ear. With that in mind, the feel of APB is just soulless, passionless. Like every feature in the game was just finished and tacked on with no real interest in whether or not it felt fun for the player to do. The driving is far from what you would be used to in Crackdown or GTA. The cars are slow and lack any real weight to them, and the gunplay is just... I can't fully explain it, it just feels dull, I guess. Like, none of the guns have any real kick when you shoot them, and none of the bullets have much noticeable impact on your surroundings. And it doesn't help that enemy players are just massive bullet sponges that just eat your ammo. Look at a gun like the battle rifle in Halo, for example. That 3-round burst, that kickback after firing, it feels beefy yet precise, and enemies tend to react accordingly, flying backward after a headshot or crumpling over after a shot in the torso. This is an example of impeccable game feel. Most of what you'll be doing in this game is taking up missions for different factions in the world. Typical MMO stuff. These can range from robbing a building if you're playing as a criminal, or staking out an area and defending it from trespassers if you're an enforcer. Now, it's probably not fair to compare the missions from this game to GTA Online, but I'm gonna do it anyway. GTA Online's jobs and heists are usually chaotic and action-packed missions that focus on organized teamwork from everyone involved. Laying down fire on police or yelling at your teammates to get to the extraction point already and make a clean getaway. Meanwhile, APB's jobs are usually idling in front of a door, pressing a button in front of a door, and the most riveting of all, picking up a box and bringing it to a door. As you can probably guess, the game was not received well when it was first released. It even won X-Play's Golden Mullet Award for the worst game of 2010. The most flattering review for the game I could find was from IGN, who gave it a 7.7 out of 10. Because of course they did.
It is a little something for everyone.
Not even 4 months passed before Real-Time Worlds had to cut their losses and shut down APB's servers, and the company ended up filing for bankruptcy and closing the doors not long after.
That can't be right! If the servers shut down, then how can you have footage of the game?
Oh, I'm getting there, don't worry. Only a year after the game's shutdown, the license was purchased by K2 Network, who relaunched the game under the name APB Reloaded, doing away with the old time-based monetization model and replacing it with an even more sinister one. Free to play. The game may be free now, but everything is monetized, especially the cosmetics. Sadly, that means that APB Reloaded's freemium model basically kneecaps the best feature of the game right out the gate. So there's even less of a reason to play this game now than there was back then. In closing, the game's bad. Can I go home now?
Yeah, you did exactly what we needed you for.
Wait, we?
That's right!
Sam Hauser? President of Rockstar Games? Actually, you know what? This doesn't seem that out of character.
Yes! It was me all along! I needed you to tear apart Grand Theft Auto Online's greatest competitor so we can finally take them down once and for all!
You consider APB GTA Online's greatest competitor?
Shut up!
What? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, I'll probably be wandering in the middle of nowhere for a while, but in the meantime, thanks for watching. If you like this video, then leave a like and become a pyromaniac yourself by subscribing. Until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.